Hi, Greg. Michele Giannone from Univision. Is there a way to put into context what happened today?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think the result is extremely disappointing. I know the result is extremely disappointing. I can't fault the effort of the group, especially after going down a man. The guys dug in, and we were close to coming out with a point. But you know, it's a shame because there was more in this game, and you know, silly decision by Timmy, you know, leaves us shorthanded. So it is, you know, and then, you know, you have the whole thing that's moving with the referee throughout the game. So it led to, you know, some strange circumstances for sure.
Greg, Steve Goff from the Washington Post. Given the circumstances, being down a man, still you have an early lead. They do come back and tie it. It's getting late. It's tied. You feel like the team should have done better down the stretch.
It's not even down the stretch. It's one moment. When you look at the, you know, you look at the stats, you look at the chances that we gave up. You know, it was really only that one moment that the guy gets an open look. And, you know, we didn't deal with the first ball very well. We didn't deal with the second ball very well. And then, you know, too much space between our center backs on the cross. But, I mean, besides that, we're talking about very, very little production from Panama. And really a tremendous effort by the guys to dig in there, work for each other, keep our shape, and keep moving.
Coach, Jose Persopio from Latin Goals. My question is, were you surprised by Panama game today, how aggressive and physical they were in the game?
No, I think we outlined that before the game. You know, I think we had a good start to the game. We got the goal, got called back, but you know, the match-changing, you know, the match-changing event is obviously the red card, and it puts us in a tough spot. But we expected that from Panama.
Greg, Nicole Ferguson for Panama, RPC. My question is, back-to-back losses against Panama and now having to face Uruguay, which is the most complicated one in the group. How do you, how does that game seem to you, how's it going to work out for you?
Well, yeah, obviously we don't know how it's going to work out, right? But what we're going to do is...
How will you prepare for that? Excuse me.
Yeah, we're going to finish watching their game tonight, but we'll prepare. You know we have to go out there and get a result, and we'll go to do that. You know, we believe in this group. It's a strong team. I think if we stay focused and stick to or execute a game plan, we'll be okay.
Hey, Coach. Gavin Shippen here from olemundo.com. What did you think of the officiating in the first half and the second half? What did you think of the crowd here in Atlanta? And are you and the guys ready to face Uruguay, possibly the best team in the tournament, in a must-win situation?
You know, we have a ton of respect for Uruguay. We think they're a strong team. But there's a lot of strong teams in this tournament. The crowd was absolutely fantastic. We talked to the boys about, you know, an amazing stadium, an amazing crowd, and they certainly delivered. And as we, you know, started threatening attacks, you can see them getting into the game and getting excited. So I think the crowd was great. You know, the referee, I'm not gonna bite on that conversation. I'm gonna defer.
Greg, Paul Tenorio from The Athletic. Obviously, you guys have played in a knockout game in the World Cup, which has huge stakes, but considering the circumstances, being the host of this tournament, how much pressure is there on the group, on you, to get a result and get out of the group on Monday in Kansas City?
Well, that's what we want to do, but you know, pressure is part of what we sign up for. You know, that's part of this job. Representing your national team is a tremendous honor, and you know, there's a lot of expectations that come along with it. You know, today, as I reiterate, it was an extremely disappointing result, but the effort was there, and if we put in the same type of effort in this game, in terms of the work effort and the togetherness, you know, we'll have a shot to beat Uruguay. We know it's going to be difficult, but we're going to give it our best.
Hi, Greg. Here, Juancho Villaverde for ESPN Deportes. You said that the players were excited, and it was a silly play, the red card for Timothy. It wasn't overexcitement for a little bit for the players, or didn't he feel the pressure at the same?
No, I don't think it's that. I mean, we talked beforehand about the tendencies of this referee. We knew what he's capable of. And, to be honest, I think we played right into his hands. And we made it, that decision, I think, pretty easy. Tim got bumped, he got checked, and he reacted. And, he apologized to the group, and, I think he understands what a difficult position he put the group in. Nonetheless, it happened, and, as a result, we lost this game, and, we're going to have to move on and figure out how to win next game.
Right. Greg O'Keefe with Athletic. I was just going to ask, actually, what was behind Tim's reaction? Did anything said to him or anything particularly?
No, he got bumped off the ball. Like there's contact off the ball. He got bumped, and he reacted.
And will you speak to him as well later on tonight? Because he must be feeling extremely low.
Yeah, I mean, he spoke to the group. I'll speak to him, but there's I think he knows the implications of that, and he knows he made a mistake, and he's an ultimate team player, and he stood up and he took accountability for it right away, and we move on.
Coach Kyle Bond from Sporting News. It looked like you guys, after halftime, sat back and then with maybe 15, 20 minutes to go, sort of let it go from there. When you see how Panama reacted over the last 10 minutes to the final push, in hindsight, is there any thought of maybe we should have let it go a little bit earlier, even though you were playing a man down, just considering how long you had to go, absorbing pressure?
I think, again, looking at it, they didn't create any chances, very few chances. They had a shot from distance when Ethan came in. I can't remember another clear-cut chance that they had. And so, for us, it was really about pick and choosing the moments to counterattack, but being difficult to break down. And for the most part, besides in the goal, we did that. And, again, one lapse, we got punished for it, but I think, we were solid enough to get away with a point.
Jeff Carlisle with ESPN. Greg, Panama played with a chippiness tonight, and you said you were ready for their physicality, but it seemed at times your guys got drawn into it, and obviously Timmy gets sent off on kind of a chippy play. I mean, is there any disappointment with how your team dealt with kind of that approach by Panama?
No, I think, again, I think we let some events, affect us, but it's really hard to predict what the game was going to look like. We got the red card after how many minutes of game time though, right? There was the VAR for the goal. There was other stuff. So, probably about 14 minutes of game time, we get a red card, and it changes the complexity of the game. And who knows what it would have looked like. What I would say is that, down a man, we battled, and it was, it was a good effort, but we came up short.
Hi, Coach. Derek Amia, MX24 TV from Ghana. Given that you're going to play against Uruguay, the 15-time champions, they want to win it to make it 16 and obviously be on top of the CONMEBOL history. In the game, going to the game against Uruguay, do you open up to play because you need a win to qualify into the next stage of the competition, or obviously you set back to try and play into your own game and then get a result from that because you really need a result to book a ticket in the quarterfinals?
Yeah, I think we're all getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, in terms of how this whole thing's gonna play out. I think that what we know, the facts are that Panama's gonna play Bolivia, and we're gonna play Uruguay. That's clear. We don't know exactly what we're gonna need from the game, but we're gonna go in with the intentions to try to play a very good game and try to get the result we need to advance. And it's really as simple as that.
Marvin Walters here, MLS Multiplex. Coach, not the result that you have wanted tonight. We didn't see Matt return in the second half. Any word on his situation?
Yeah, it was a nice challenge by the attacker that didn't even get a caution, which was really surprising. Think about that. He knocks Matt out of the game and nothing. But again, you know, that is what it is. But Matt couldn't continue on. We had to sub him.
Greg, Lawrence Dockery, World Soccer Talk.
What's happening? What do we want to happen here? All right.
Prior to this Copa America, the U.S. had been to the Copa America 2 of the last 3 times they have been to the semifinals. If it happens where you fail to get out of the group on home soil, could and should your job be on the line against Uruguay?
You know, that's not. I have a hard time understanding the question. I think you mean if we don't qualify for the next round, should my job be in the line? Yeah, that's not for me to determine. Doug, there you go. I'll call on you.
If you do need a win in that game against Uruguay, I mean, you've talked a lot about needing to win knockout games. I mean, in a funny way, does it simplify things for you that you know exactly what you have to do? And just to follow up on Matt, how is he? What do you think his status is for the next game? Thanks.
We don't know his status. We'll get report from the medical team later this evening. We're not sure, but you know, either way, you know, we know we're going to have to put in a really good performance, and you know, it doesn't do us any good to start speculating on what we're going to need or how's it going to turn out or what happens tonight in the game. You know, we'll prepare and we'll go out there and try to have a great performance against Uruguay and get the result we need in front of a great crowd in Kansas City.
Lagan Lemon with Fox Sports. Just following up on all of the Tim Weah questions.
Yeah.
You won't have him for the next match, so how
No.
do you adapt and what do you need to do to replace him?
Yeah, we'll have options. You know, we have a number of players that can play in the winger position, and you know, we'll figure out whether it's Haji, Brendan, other players that have played there before. So we'll figure it out.
Thank you so much. This is the final for